I welcome you all for this session. I am M. Maniandan, Assistant Professor ECE from SSM Institute of Engineering and Technology, Dindigul. In this session, I am going to explain about transmission lines. In Anna University 2017 regulation, 6th semester, they are having this subject in the name of transmission lines and RF system. The subject code is EASY 8651. For the same, I am going to explain the concept behind this transmission lines. The name indicates this transmission line is nothing but a device that transfers the information from one point to another point. In this session, I am going to explain what are the concept and parameters helping transmission line to transfer the information from source to destination. My outline of presentation is that is, first I am going to explain what is transmission line, and the next we are going to see what are the types of transmission line with its application, and the next we are going to see about equivalent circuit, which is very essential thing to understand the operation of power transfer from source to destination in transmission line. Next we are going to discuss about a distributed network. That is, the transmission line is considered to be a distributed network. So we must know why we are saying a transmission line as a distributed network. And the next I am going to explain the primary and secondary constants. And the next finally we are going to see about maximum power transfer theorem, which plays a major role in the operation of transmission. First of all, what is a transmission line? As I already said that the name indicates we are going to transfer the information using this transmission line. For transferring information from one point to another point in terms of power, we are using this transmission line. Otherwise, we can say it is a medium in wired communication. It is going to act as a medium in wired communication between source and destination. The main purpose of this transmission line is to transfer the information from source to destination without any loss, and that is the main purpose. If we design a transmission line, we should design in such a way that the delivered power should not contain any loss. That is a perfect transmission line or a lossless transmission line, right? This is the general definition for a transmission line. So we said that is we are going to transfer the information from source to load, and that is going to be, that information is going to be in terms of power, right? So what are the information we are going to transfer? It may be any kind of information, maybe a voice signal or an image or a video or anything else. So we are going to transfer those kinds of information in terms of power inside this transmission line. Next we are going to discuss about application. So this transmission line is mainly used to transfer power. In a roadside, we always seen that a giant power tower will be there. That is a transmission tower, which is carrying a transmission line along the roadside. So that is a transmission line. This is best example for transmission line. So a transmission line can be categorized into AC transmission line as well as a DC transmission line. Mainly this transmission line is used to carry a power from power station to the home, right? That is the main application of this transmission line. And the next we in earlier days we used landline phone, right? Before mobile phone we used landline phone, and that landline phone is transferring information by using this transmission line only. And that is called a telephone line. And the next another application we can say it is a printed circuit board, right? In a printed circuit board to connect, otherwise we can say IC, integrated circuit. Inside an integrated circuit, there may be more transistors, that is diodes inside the integrated circuit. To connect two devices, we need to trace a path between these two devices, and that is called a microstrip line, right? So that line is also called as a transmission line. So for this application, we are using that kind of transmission line. And the next cable connectors, all those are considered to be a transmission line. Generally, a transmission line can be a wire designed for a particular application. Not all the line is considered to be a transmission line, right? A transmission line is considered to be a line designed for a particular application, and it should can able to transfer particular frequency only. So it is a line designed for particular application. And the next we're going to discuss about types of transmission line. So these are all the major category of transmission line. One is two-wire line, and another one is coaxial line, and another one is microstrip line. Right. So this two-wire line is best example for power transmission. In a roadside, we may see this power, the giant power tower. So it carries this two-wire line to transfer the power from power station to our home. And the next, there is a coaxial cable, right? In electronics and communication laboratories and basic electron devices laboratories and all, we are normally used to connect the CROs and then function generator to study the waveform or to analyze the waveform. To connect that CRO and then function generator, we are using a probe, right? So to see the waveform in the CRO from function generator, we use it to connect a probe between function generator and then CRO. So that cable is considered to be a coaxial cable, and that is nothing but a type of transmission line. The coaxial cable is another type of transmission line. And the next, microstrip line. I already said inside a printed circuit board, that is inside a IC, there is a more number of transistor and diodes. So to connect those two devices, we use it to made a that is a printed circuit, and that is called a microstrip line. So these are all the general types of transmission lines. And the next very important thing, that is equivalent circuit of a transmission line. So we assume that is a resistance, inductance, conductance, and then capacitance that is present inside a transmission line. So only we are making this equivalent circuit. So how we are saying that there is a resistance, inductance, capacitance, and conductance inside a transmission line means that is it is a basic thing, and that is we must know about how the power is transferring from source to destination. So this is the general equivalent circuit of a transmission line. Next we are going to discuss about a distributed network. So this transmission line is considered to be a distributed network. Why we are saying this transmission line is a distributed network? Because this four components, that is R, L, G, and then C, are distributed inside a transmission lines. We cannot physically view this component, but it is distributed along the transmission line. So only we are saying this transmission line as a distributed network, and we cannot physically view this component. That is called a distributed network. So how we are saying a resistance is present inside a transmission line means, so in previous slide I showed an equivalent circuit of transmission line. Generally, if we allow a current through a conductor, a magnetic field will be produced around that conductor, right? So if a current is allowed through a conductor possesses a resistive property. This is the general thing. So for every conductor there will be a resistance property. So from that we are concluding that there is a presence of resistance inside a transmission line. And if a current is allowed through a conductor, a magnetic field will be produced around that conductor. In this way we are saying that there will be a presence of inductance inside a transmission line. So generally a transmission line is considered to be a two parallel wires, right? So between these two parallel wires there will be an insulator that is separating these two conducting surfaces. So if two conducting surfaces separated by a dielectrics, then it is called a capacitance, right? So the same structure is repeating here. So in this way we are concluding that there is a presence of capacitance inside this transmission line, right? So a transmission line is considered to be a pair of two parallel wires. Between these two parallel wires there will be an insulator, and that is air, right? So if two parallel conducting plates separated by a dielectric, then it is called capacitance. So in this way we are saying that there is a presence of capacitance inside a transmission. So the dielectrics in between these two conductors is not perfect, right? So there will be some flow of current in that insulator. So that is called a leakage current. So if there is presence of leakage current, definitely there will be a presence of leakage conductance. So we are saying that there is a presence of conductance inside a transmission line, right? So this is the reason behind RLGC, which is distributed along a transmission line, and the same the equivalent circuit showing that RLGC is distributed inside a transmission line, right? So this is called a distributed network. It is a network where RLGC components are distributed, which is not physically separable, or we cannot view these components physically. So it is called a distributed network. And the next very important thing, there is primary and secondary constants of a transmission line. We already discussed primary constant, that is RLGC. There is a presence of RLGC inside a transmission line. And then there is another constant called secondary constant, named as Z0 and then gamma. Z0 is nothing but a characteristics impedance, and gamma is nothing but a propagation constant. So this two constant is considered to be a main characteristics of transmission line. This characteristics impedance and propagation constant plays an important role in analyzing a transmission line, right? So there are two constants. One is primary constant and secondary constant. Primary constant is nothing but R, L, G, and then C, where the secondary constant is Z0 and then gamma. And then here I am relate the primary constant and then secondary constant. So in equivalent circuit, I already show the presence of RLGC. Here I am expressing that Z. I am introducing one parameter Z. Z is nothing but a series impedance, right? This series impedance can be expressed as R plus J omega L, in which it consists of seriously connected component, that is R and L. So we can relate this Z is, that is Z is nothing but a series impedance. Z is equal to R plus J omega L, and then this shunt components G and C is considered to be a shunt conductance, that is shunt admittance. So Y is nothing but a shunt admittance, which is expressed as G plus J omega C. So the same is the same thing I am going to relate here, that is Z0 can be expressed as root of Z divided by Y. So we already known that Z is equal to R plus J omega L, and then Y is equal to G plus J omega C, and then similarly gamma is equal to root of Z into Y. Okay, so in this way the primary and secondary constants are related to each other. And the next, the secondary parameter, I already said this characteristics and the propagation constant is going to play an important role in analyzing a transmission line. So this characteristics impedance is defined as a steady state vector ratio of voltage to the current at the any point on the transmission line. Otherwise, we can say it is a input impedance looking into an infinite line. So this characteristics impedance decides the maximum power delivered to the load in a transmission line, right? So it is a steady state vector ratio. It is a steady state vector ratio of voltage to the current at input of the transmission line in an infinite line. So this characteristics impedance can be written as, that is, Z0 is equal to root of Z divided by, we already seen this expression, that is root of Z divided by, Z can be written as R plus J omega L and Y can be written as G plus J omega C, where Z is series impedance and Y is shunt admittance. And the next we are going to discuss about propagation constant. So propagation constant is a sinusoidal electromagnetic wave. It is a measure of change undergone by an amplitude and phase of wave as it propagates in a transmission line. This property decides the wave propagation, how the wave is propagating inside a transmission line. This is also an important characteristics of transmission line. So this can be expressed as gamma is equal to root of Z into Y. We know is what is Z and what is Y. So from that we can relate propagation constant to primary constant. So these two parameters are very important in analyzing a transmission line. That is, one is propagation constant and another one is characteristics impedance. And then finally, the maximum power transfer theorem. We must know about this maximum power transfer theorem. In earlier class, we learned this. That is maximum power transfer theorem. The diagrams indicates three components. One is source side, another one is a transmission line, and another one is a load side. So maximum power transfer theorem tells that is, when the input impedance is equal to load impedance, then the maximum power will be delivered to the load. That is the maximum power transfer theorem. The same theorem is going to be implemented in transmission line also. So to transfer the maximum power from source to load, we must match the source impedance and the load impedance. Then only we will get the maximum power at the load side. So this maximum power transfer theorem plays a major role in a transmission line. So the main condition of this transmission line is to match the source impedance and the load impedance. That is the first condition. So when load impedance is equal to source impedance, the maximum power transfer will be, that is, maximum power will be delivered to the load. And the second condition is when the load is terminated with a characteristics impedance, then automatically input impedance is equal to characteristics impedance. At this case also, a maximum power will be delivered to the load. Right. So these are the two important concepts we must know from this maximum power transfer theorem. The purpose of this transmission line is to transfer the maximum power, that is, to transfer all the signal from source to the load, and that is happening by using this maximum power transfer theorem. So if we want to design a perfect transmission line, we should terminate this transmission line with its characteristics impedance. Then the input impedance is equal to characteristics impedance. Then automatically the maximum power will be delivered to the load. So in this presentation, we discussed about what is a transmission line, and then what are the application for this transmission line, and what are the types involved in designing this transmission line, and then the equivalent circuit of a transmission line. Next, a very important primary constant, secondary constant, that is characteristics impedance, propagation constant, as well as finally the maximum power transfer theorem. Right. So for a lossless transmission line, we have to match the source impedance to the load impedance. Then the maximum information will be delivered to the load. Thank you.